couple of years ago, a group of us had the opportunity to talk with Donny Pike for well over an hour. In the second part of the Donny Pike interview, he talks about his new music and how he is able to translate all that wonderful melody that he has in his head through MIDI format. So here are the highlights from that extraordinary, exclusive interview.
Of course, when we played Vegas and Tahoe, when we played like Harris Club at Tahoe, we'd split the bill with sometimes with Bill Cosby, a 50-50 split bill, and Don Rickles and lots of other comedians. Usually, they didn't put two musical acts together in the show. Well, actually, my brothers and I have different dads. They're actually my half brothers. So Russ Pike was my brother Jim and Gary's dad was a big Western singer. He was kind of like one of the last of the singing cowboys. Well, I've always been a songwriter. I think the first song I wrote was back in those early 50s and 60s dates. But out of all those years, I think I've written maybe 4 or 5 decent songs. Just recently, within the last couple of years, I became acquainted with MIDI. I never was a great guitar player. I'm self-taught, and all I can play is stuff that I wrote myself. MIDI enabled me to fulfill what I had in my head and be a piano player for a moment, or a violin player, or any instrument that I could imagine in my music. MIDI allows me to do that.
What is your process now with MIDI? You say you hear it in your head. Is it just pretty much slap the notes on the page as you go, or do you incorporate looping? What techniques do you use?
Well, I'm still learning and I'm exploring all the time, and it never seems to be the same. Sometimes I'll put down a melody line with a piano or a guitar. Sometimes I'll put down a bass line and start with that and just layer on top of that. Sometimes I'll just start with a rhythm or a little percussion, and just kind of build from that point. And usually the song ends up writing itself.
And just one follow up to that. How much time would you say it takes for you to complete a song? I mean, how much total time do you use over what period of days?
Actually, sometimes I can just never stick a fork in it and call it done. Other times I have to stop myself and say, look, stop doing this. You're gonna ruin what you got if you keep adding more stuff. Sometimes I'll have a song completed in 3 hours. Sometimes it'll take me a week. Usually, I think on average, 2 or 3 days for a song.
I find that rather impressive.
A record contract, if I had an opportunity to get real players to play my music, absolutely, I'd jump at it in an instant. Music is pretty diverse. I don't know. The reason right now I only have MIDI on my songs, and a while back I thought, if you take a current pop song and take the vocal away from it, will the music stand on its own? And 9 times out of 10 it won't. So I figured that if I can write enough music to where I have music that does stand on its own without a vocal, when I do put the lyrics and vocal to it, it's got to be a better song. And that's pretty much what I'm striving for right now, is continuing the lyrical and vocal process on my music that I already have written. And that's my next strong push, is to complete these and make them complete songs with vocals on them.
early on in the interview is that you were completely self-taught, and that really struck a chord with me. Sorry for the pun. That was really completely unintentional. But I'm also completely self-taught on the piano, and I noticed with myself when I do look at extant scores and I look at people's fingerings, they're significantly different from my own, probably to my detriment, but in other cases I feel like I can play things more fluidly than people who were trained by the book. And my question is this, is that where did you've been playing since you were 5, where did you not where how did you reconcile basically your self-taught knowledge to what was required to be done, like on the stage? I mean, how did that affect your playing? I mean, were you ever self-conscious about it? Did you ever feel like you weren't quite adequate to the task, so you had to fake it from now and again, like I have to fake it all the time? I mean, the results obviously are fantastic as far as you're concerned, but I'm just curious about that.
Well, to tell you, Sean, had high school choir, but that's about it. I mean, I haven't read sheet of sheet music in 30 years. I don't even know what key the songs I'm writing are in. To give you, I'm giving away some of my secrets here, Mr. Dunce. But everything that I write is strictly from what I hear in my head.
You're just like miles beyond charming by saying that, and I really appreciate that. That's you have a really natural, innate talent, and I want to thank you very much for sharing it with us.
Oh, listen, it's my pleasure. I just can't say enough about MIDI. I mean, I was saying I wrote 5 songs in 30 years, and since I've got MIDI, I've written 65 pretty decent songs in the last 2.5 years. So I'm really happy with this tool that we have called MIDI.
Oh, it is just super, isn't it? I just can't say enough about it either, and may you continue to use it and please us all.
Website.
I'd just like to ask everybody to come on by and take a look, and there's lots of stuff there for you to see. I try to put as many memories in there for people as I can, so come on by.
Thanks.
I love you, man.
Thanks for sharing with us tonight, Donny.
Yeah, we all love you.
Hey, I love all you guys.